Hi YouTube, Jeezy here. You might recognize me from some of Refleksy's videos. He's my real life half brother. I like to hang out in his Twitch channel sometimes and drive him slightly insane. But enough about that. I'm going to be at least attempting to do some Let's Plays on some forgotten video game gems. Or at least I consider them gems. Other people might not. You might not. But hopefully, even if you don't, you might get some enjoyment out of watching me stumble through these video games. The first one I'm going to be starting out with is Fantasy General. It's an old game from SSI, Strategic Simulations. They made, probably the more popular one was Panzer General. But Fantasy General has always held a big place in my heart. So, with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. As mentioned, it is old, and so that is why we are in 2015 having to use DOSBox to try to get this thing playing right. So let's go ahead here. Minus T CD-ROM. That's gonna get the actual CD mounted. I tried to make an ISO. It did not like that, so we're actually running it straight off the CD. So here we go. Let's see how this works out. A very interesting note about this game, and a lot of the earlier games for the PC, you could actually take the CD out and take it out of the computer and put it in like a CD player or CD changer, and the first track was the data track, and it was just garbage. It was just garbled sound or a high-pitched sound. But then, if you went to the next tracks, very often they had the soundtrack on the CD, and you could just listen to it like you were listening to a CD. And this game in particular had a very excellent soundtrack. And this is part of what you're listening to right now. And so I'm going to actually be quiet for a second and let you enjoy the storyline that's going to be explained here in a second.
Air was a world graced with joy and a carefree people. Beauty flourished with the bounty of fertile fields and generous skies. In its innocence, though, Air was ill-prepared for the Shadow Lord, a cancerous evil who spread his cloak of death over the world and ravaged its beauty with the foulest corruption. Armies commanded by the Shadow Lord's baleful creatures swept the continents in a merciless march of death. Few escaped their bloody spears. Fewer still held out any hope for deliverance. And only one dared to challenge the Shadow Lord's malevolent reign.
And guess who that one is? Surprise, surprise, it is you. Okay, so here's the main screen. Let's see, hopefully you can see this cursor. Basically there's 5 different areas you can go to. Pretty much we're just gonna be dealing with campaign and load saved game. I actually made a saved game earlier just to make sure it worked, and actually, very surprisingly, it is working. This thing is working like a champ on DOSBox. I'm really glad that the music is running, because the music is excellent, as you can hear. Especially for a game that's 25 years old. I don't know if they actually got the orchestra, if this is all just synthesized, but it sounds pretty awesome with the chorus and everything. I like to believe that they got like a huge budget for this game. That would be pretty awesome. But anyway, play a scenario. You can actually go and you can play some of these scenarios just like a single game. The arena is interesting because you can actually play multiplayer on one computer. But even better than that is actually PBM, which is a little before my time, but I've been told it is from the days of like before online multiplayer. It was kind of like how chess people would play by mailing moves to each other through the mail, except it was like, you know, not that. It was it's hard to explain because we've had, you know, online gaming for, you know, 10 odd years now at least, you know, in the video game world and online. I mean, it's nothing to connect online and play against other people, but this was one of the pioneers. So you'd actually, I'm not sure how it works because obviously no one plays it anymore, but supposedly you could play against another actual person, like through email or something. I'm not really sure, but it would be cool to do it, but we're not going to be concerned with it. So anyway, we're going to go to the campaign. Now there are 4 different fellows, well, 3 fellows and a lady that you can play as. We have Marshal Callus. His specialty is heavy cavalry. Let's see. Oh, it's on this side. Sorry. He is a limited spellcaster. He recruits cavalry, and cavalry are pretty good in this game. Cavalry tend to do really well against like infantry units. Charismatic. I think that means he recruits better than most other people, and he's a healer, which I think that's is pretty much his spell that he casts is healer. All of his units are all of his units are mortal, which comes into play later as you start to research stuff. Basically, there are mortal, magic, and I think it's mechanical. Yeah, mechanical creatures, and I think mechanical and melee you can upgrade. Like this guy right here, the squire. This heavy cavalry, I think, is an upgrade of the squire. And so if you unlock this heavy cavalry, you can upgrade these dudes to heavy cavalry. That gives them, as you can see, this guy's 8 melee versus 11, and it's got, you know, better armor boost. And the magic units you can't do that with. He doesn't have any, but we'll just scroll through all these guys. Yeah, Lord Marcus, just like Callus was a cavalry recruiter, he recruits light and heavy foot. So these dudes, pretty much. Oh no, these guys. He can recruit them more like that. I mean, they all can recruit different stuff, but they kind of recruit more. Famous warlord general. To be honest, I don't know what all those mean. I'm sure one of them's probably a morale bonus. They do have morale. Oh, and I think actually general gives them an experience bonus, which comes into play later. Troops with better experience fight better, are less likely to be routed, or I think this game calls it broken or disorganized. But yeah, he's pretty good. No spells with this guy though. So let's go to the next one. Krell. Krell is the guy I usually play. Still haven't decided. I'm still kind of, even in the middle of a let's play, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna play as Krell, because he is a spellcaster and he gets 4 spells. Some are pretty good, some are so-so. He's got a heal. He has a spell that he casts on enemy units and has a chance to make them broken, which kills their morale and makes them very easy to be defeated. And he has a whirlwind spell, which is a necessity for if you're dealing with flying units, especially early in the game when you don't have any flying units to counter with. You pretty much cast whirlwind on them and it takes them out, and they've pretty much got to just stay in one place and heal themselves. So yeah, he's spellcaster, archmage. I don't know why they make a distinction here. I don't think archmage gives him any, it's pretty much saying the same thing. He does have quite a few magic units. Like Treeman, obviously not a mortal unit, it's obviously magical. And the magical units are vulnerable to mechanical units. I think these guys are magic too. Unicorns, obviously magical. Conjurers, magical. That's this symbol right here. You'll just have to just bear with me, guys, because I played this game many years ago and it's slowly coming back to me. The sword thing means that they're melee, or not melee, mortal units. So for Krell, only the slingers and the cavalry can be upgraded. So that can be a problem later in the game, as I've found out. The problem with the mortal units is that as you can upgrade them, you keep upgrading them, but the gold tends to become a problem later on. So for Krell, it's like the units are weaker, but for the other guys, it's sometimes the gold becomes a problem. Sorceress Mordra is probably the one I have the least experience with. She's also a limited spellcaster. I think she has a different spell than Callus. Callus is a heal, is a specific heal. I think she has one spell or maybe two spells. Beastmaster and Summon Monsters. I think Summon Monsters is the same as as being a recruiter. I think that just means she gets to recruit monsters, and Beastmaster means that she has monsters in her unit, obviously lizardmen, fire beetles are monsters, I guess, or beasts. I forget which one. They're basically melee units, but I'm pretty certain you can't upgrade them. And looks like none of these guys actually start out with any mechanical units. You have to, spoiler alert for a 25-year-old game, but you have to rescue the mech master Ferris in the second continent to access the mechanical units. So if you hadn't played the game before, anything, major spoiler. So here we go. Let's see. Do I want to go Krell or do I want to go Callus? I've gone Krell so many times. I think I'm going to go Callus because he gets the cavalry bonus and he has the healing spell, which is what I use probably the most. I'll just have to deal with the flying units. By the way, this difficulty thing does not do anything with the campaign game. If you're playing a scenario, then yes, you can go here and you can set the difficulty, you set the level of your opponents or the amount of gold. Yeah, computer gold. Yeah, this thing was pretty impressive from back in the day. There's quite a few different options, but we'll go ahead and just go campaign. Let's see. Let me change my name because I'm not Callus. I will be Jeezy. All right. Let's hit enter. Okay, now we're looking awesome. Yeah, no chance to change the portraits or nothing like that. No, not back in the day like this. All right, let's start the game. Let's see. Let's get this thing on the road.
The time of waiting is over. No longer shall we bend beneath the oppression of the Shadow Lord. The Council of Five places all its trust and hope in you to carry forth the rebellion. Our first objective is to recapture one of the 5 continents of air, to create a haven for those who suffer the Shadow Lord's cruelty. The continent of Kildonia, devastated by the Shadow Lord's wrath, is now...
Alright, I'll just give you guys a chance to read this,
Yet,
but
it
this guy
provides
really
the
needs a
best-
Ricola, and he needs to read a lot faster. Okay, so they say that, tutorials and stuff have ruined games in recent time. It's way too much hand-holding. There's not a lot of hand-holding in this game. I mean, this first continent is pretty much a very simple affair. It's definitely going to let you learn the game a little bit. You're obviously starting with the weaker foes and working your way up to the harder foes. That's how it always is. But there's not a lot of hand-holding here. It's pretty much telling you this button right here, you buy and upgrade units and distribute items. And this one is how you allocate your awards for research. So yeah, we'll take a look real quick. See, right now, because I chose Callus, I don't have access to any of the magic units. Magic would be right here, and spoiler alert, mech is right here, I believe. And so, yeah, as you get gold, as you take over places, you'll get gold from either the fights or at the end sometimes, and it will slowly start to unlock these guys. It's just a portrait here, and it just gets fuller as you get closer to unlocking them. And like I said, the mortal ones, let's see. You can go in here and it has upgrades because these guys are mortal units. You can upgrade them. Whereas if it's magic, there's not an upgrade option, and if you want a better unit, you basically gotta sell these guys and upgrade that way. But so we got some pretty weak guys. The peasants are, they're peasants. They literally have like a pitchfork. I mean, they're 8 melee. So they're not anything major. Let's see. We'll probably put the magical shield on the most powerful guy in our army, which is definitely the heavy cavalry. So we'll move that over there, give him a little more army, a little more magic defense. We can buy 4 units. What do I want to buy? We've got 0 archers. We've got 0 skirmishers. Let's see, another point I want to make before I get too much further is these guys are all mortal and they are melee. All of these guys, actually these guys are not. These guys are skirmishers. That's why their melee is so low, because they attack skirmish style. Now if they get attacked, they will respond with melee, unless they get attacked by another skirmisher. So we've got a couple skirmishers, so we'll be all right there. Let's see. So we definitely need an archer, I would say. Oops, hold up. Yeah, no right click in this game either. Get out of here with your multiple clicks. Oh, here we go, purchase. Okay, so we're gonna buy one of those. Probably don't need any siege engines yet. Spellcaster. Oh, and the fact that they're pretty expensive gold-wise. Scout Hunter. Maybe. Won't worry about that right now. Let's see. Do we have 2? No, we don't have 2. Let's go to heavy infantry. Yeah. Alright. So we can still buy 2 units, but this will be plenty for taking out this first area here. Okay, the Council of Flatus scoured Far-Reach Valley, but has found only scattered indications of King Draga's forces, and these appear to be no more than raiding parties. A decisive attack is needed to compel King Draga's forces to retreat from the region. Alright, so if you took the time and read the little thing where I was explaining, basically this guy is he's the worst of the Shadow Lord's henchmen. So he's basically, lazy, slovenly, not really paying attention, so this is where we're going to start our assault. Alright, so basically you just click on here and you put your dudes down. We'll put our heavy infantry out here, peasants right behind them. Bowmen right here, heavy cavalry, the squires, those guys, and we're looking good. Alright. Now this should be a walk in the park, but you never really know. We're just gonna slowly expand out here. I don't want to say it's gonna be a walk in the park and then get my shit pushed in. That would kind of suck. So we're just gonna kind of make a little formation, if you would, here. Alright, now see, this guy can see pretty far. So we're looking good. This button right here lets you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that I don't really mess with too much. Let's see, that hides the AI move, which they're getting ready to do as soon as I pass the turn. This spots hidden units. I mean, it's not, you know, super crazy, but I mean, it helps when you don't know that the guys are there, and you run up on about 4 or 5 of them and you lose a unit because of it. Losing a unit late in the game can be the end of your campaign. It doesn't seem like much, but you're already hard pressed for gold, and you're already hard pressed for, you know, the battle's already tough enough as is, so you can kind of spiral out. Let's see what we got here. So score. Okay, I've never used that before. Wounds. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Health. Okay, so yeah, everybody has 15 health. I think the spellcasters and the siege engines have 10, but everything else has 15. Let's see. Okay, you can view the whole map if you click on that. That's pretty helpful. If there's any flying units, flying units can be on the same tile as a ground unit, so you can click this to see, you know, make sure there's no flying units chilling out hiding here. This hides the hexes. Not a big deal. This is show terrain. Okay, so anyway. Alright, so we moved our guys. We're going to move to the next turn, and we'll get to see how they do it. Oh, well, I guess I can explain this side too. Alright, like I said, this guy only has 1 heal, so you cast it. I think it just gives everybody a heal, and you can cast it once per mission or campaign. I don't know what this guy is doing here, but he apparently controls the animations. It's really not an issue to have the animations on here with this older game. The music is awesome, so it's definitely staying on. Sound effects, whatever. You can load game, save game. There's like 10 slots. Quit game is there, and this is where you go to purchase more units. It's just the same as before. You just go in here and purchase them if you want, but we should have plenty of units for this fight. So we'll go ahead and enter, and we can see what Orc King Draga is gonna do. Okay, see? I didn't see that coming, and unfortunately these guys are super weak, so that's how it's gonna go. So yeah, luckily we did not lose any. We didn't have any deaths. We just had some wounds, so we can actually rest and get our entire force back, which is fine. These guys are melee, so we're gonna go up here and we're gonna skirmish with them. They're not gonna be able to return fire. Unfortunately, they were supposed to lose some units there, and they did not. I'll try it again here. There we go, we lost a few units there. And these guys are a lot stronger than these guys, so yeah, it shouldn't be. Yep. Disordered doesn't mean anything. It just means they're getting closer to getting broken. Let's actually... Yeah, let's do this one. Alright. Let's see, usually when they get attacked they'll have to move back a space, and I did that strategically so it'll be next to him, because if you are next to an enemy unit or an enemy unit is next to you and they try to rest like I did with this guy, they won't be able to get back all their injured people. They'll only be able to get back 1. Okay, so here is where this guy is going to get extra murdered, because he is, yeah, as you can see, yeah, that's pretty deadly. We'll actually go ahead and move this guy up here. This guy here. See how we're doing? Okay, and he's gone. Got him. Alright. Do we want to go ahead and see how much this is going to do? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead. Okay, so that worked out pretty good for us. I'll move him up here. Okay. So we're pushing, we're advancing our front here. We're looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and ship the turn. See what Draga's got for us. Well, goblins just kind of murdered themselves on our cavalry, which is fine with me. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Oh yeah, these are the slave archers. They're not very powerful, so we should be fine. Another thing is that skirmishing does not cause the units to retreat back a tile. So, but skirmishing like this will, as long as they don't straight die. Oh, another part I'd need to mention is that before I attack with this guy to these guys, I'm actually going to attack here to the archers, because if I attack him with him while the archers are adjacent to them, then they will actually they will give defensive fire. So I've got to go here and attack to push them back, and now I will attack here and hopefully kill them. Yes. So they got taken out. We'll go ahead up here. Archers aren't, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go up here and see if we can get some damage on them. I don't think that they'll give helping fire here, but they might. Let's see. No. Okay, that's all right. Let's go up here and push him back down. Yeah, that's good. I'll actually take the ruins here and attack. Let's see if I get anything from these ruins. Group of apprentices practicing their arcane craft. Learning of your valiant quest, they join your army. Okay, so we have some volunteers. Now, the units that you get when you're playing, volunteers are good for your. If you remember that first map we had that showed the whole continent, they will last for the continent, but then at the end of the continent it will say that volunteers leave your army to head back to their homes. Now, like some of the better units, some of the legendary units or whatever, they won't be volunteers, they'll stay with you for the entire journey. Alright, let's see, do I want to attack this guy? Yeah, we'll do that, that's fine. Okay, and he's next to him, so he can't heal. This guy, that's good. These two guys are going to be able to heal. Actually, all of these guys are going to be able to heal. But that's all right, because we're pushing out pretty good. We're looking pretty good right now. Okay, so he took his city back, so we couldn't get it. Let's see. After I take this city, I will probably be offered the chance to surrender. Yeah, let's see. So let's see. Does he? No, he didn't. Okay, never mind. Let's try to take these guys out. There we go. Good. This guy's still hanging out over here, which is fine. Okay, so now they're broken, so they should die here. Yep. Okay. Alright, and this guy summoned Banshee. What the heck does that even do? Okay, it moved them backwards. Alrighty. Let's just get our guys some more experience here. Alright, do I want to do one more here? Yeah, that's okay. Alright, is that everything? No, we can move some more guys. Oh, okay, excellent. That will work great. We'll actually attack them. Oh, wow, that did much better than I expected. Go there, and right here. Okay, next turn we should have it. And simply because I don't know what it does, I'm going to cast this. Let's see. Is it going to tell me? Yeah, okay. Life. Okay, we have 5 wounded and 1 dead. I think the spell will bring back the wounded, but it won't bring back the dead. That's another thing I forgot to mention. If you're over a city, you can either rest or you can recruit. Recruiting will restore your dead people too. So, but if you just rest, you only get the one back because he has one dead and one wounded. So anyway, so let's go ahead and cast that. Let's go ahead and cast this heal and see what happens to this guy. He should have. He'd probably be back to 14. Yep. Okay. So it brought back everything except for his wounded dude. So let's go over here, see if we can take this guy out. No, not yet. Okay, this guy should do it. And then we just got the enemy offers surrender. Of course you do when you only have one unit left. No, unfortunately I'm going to need all of the experience I can get. And so as such, I will give these goblin guys some pain. And okay, that should be it. Okay, there we go. Jeezy is the victor. Okay. So more local troops join us, and 100 gold is spent to the effort. Some is spent on research. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Is that, yeah. So you have a certain amount of gold that you keep for your, to buy units, and then you have a certain amount that you keep for research purposes. So right now it's a 70-30 split. So 30 of that gold went into our yeah. So we were at 37. Now we're at 67, and we gained a volunteer unit. So another unit that's going to leave after we get done with this area, which will be, I think, 2 more fights. I think there's one here and then there's another one here. But this is the area of the map that we now control because we won this battle. Okay. So that's a pretty good little introduction. Pretty good little first part. Probably wasn't that long, but it's all right. I mean, I'm a little rusty with the game and with trying to broadcast or trying to make videos, so this will definitely do for now. If I think of anything else, I'll try to reiterate in the next video. Let's go ahead and save. Let's see. Okay, I saved it there. Save it again and make sure I can come back to it next time. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions on things I need to do, which I'm sure there are many things that I need to do to make these videos better, please feel free to leave a message on the comments. Yeah, so that'll be it for today. We'll go ahead and quit the game, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.